Hello, hello, my name's Lindsay Brown. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Check that mic is on. So I gave a speech at the Chimney Corner a week or two ago, and I didn't attach the mic to the phone, so the sound's not great. So I thought, you know what, I'll take an opportunity and I'll go through it again and maybe go into a bit more detail about certain things that I spoke about. So I always like to start off with some gratitude to everybody that shows up and everybody that's working towards saving our wee country here. It's absolutely fantastic to see everybody and to see them all showing up for something that they truly believe in and that really matters to them. So I just think that's amazing. So look, well done everybody. So I wanted to make this speech more a celebration. You know, the stuff we see every single day and the stuff we talk about, it's hard. It's hard to see what's happening. It's hard to see what's happening to our communities. It's really difficult, and you know, it can lower your energy and it can make you feel sad and all that kind of thing. But there has been wins along the way. So I thought I would take that opportunity to speak about some of the wins along the way so that we can re-energize and, you know, that we know we are making progress and that we are moving forward. So I started off, it's always funny, and I had wore my American Eagle jeans. So if anybody's seen the advert in America for American Eagle jeans, it was a beautiful model, white-skinned model, and she was talking about having good jeans, right? The jeans on her and the jeans that she has, right? And so I wanted to talk about that because it's like we're not allowed to be proud to be white. You know, and I think everybody should be proud of their jeans. Everybody should be proud of their skin color. Everybody should be proud of themselves in general, right? You know, I think it's a bit of a shame that we feel like we have to cower away from being white skinned. You know, this is how I was born and this is my life, and I don't think that we need to be embarrassed about being white or have this white guilt in us. So I just joked about having my American Eagle jeans on and being proud of my jeans, and you know, that I'm proud of everybody else's jeans, and I hope that they're proud of their jeans as well, whatever they may be. And so I went on to joke a wee bit. The only part of my jeans is that I am only 4'8.5", right? Which means I am 95 to 98% shorter. So I was joking saying, so that puts me in a minority, like that's me like in a 2 to 5% minority, you know? Should I not get something for that minority? I was only joking, of course. But you know, still the truth. I am in a minority. Anyway, we had a bit of banter about that, and just to celebrate who we are, celebrate our genes. That's all okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. So then we went on to celebrate that Lucy Connolly was released, and you know, I spoke about that people may see that, oh well, that's somebody from the UK. Well, it would be the same down south if somebody had got out of jail after being in jail for so long. And if there is anybody, let me know so that we can celebrate them. But and hopefully I haven't missed anybody. But we would celebrate down south of Ireland, you know, over in England, Scotland, Northern Ireland. You know, we don't want these political prisoners, and I truly believe she was a political prisoner. So anyway, really good to see her out. I went on to talk about the movement of the rise of the flags. So, you know, we have flags here all the time in both culture or in both religions here in Northern Ireland. And, you know, it's good to see England just being proud of themselves. You know, I see a lot of people are hating on, oh, well, they never have flags any other time. Yeah, we know that, right? But what this, well, they probably do have sometimes, but maybe not as many. But this is about the statement that it's making. It's not that they feel that they need to have flags all over the place forever and ever and ever. It's that they are not being heard, they're not being listened to, and they're trying to find a way just to stick up for themselves, to represent themselves, and this is the way they've found. So, you know, I think fair play to them. I also noticed, I'm not sure if this is fully correct or not, but I did notice that here in Northern Ireland, we're going to be keeping the flags up all year round. I'm hoping that's in both communities. And I noticed somebody wrote, if they're getting a bit bare thread or threaded or, you know, not looking so great, they'll get them replaced. So, you know, I think that's nice. And like I say, I think both religions should be doing that in their areas. If that's what they want to do, why not? And, you know, it's at this point that we feel we don't have a voice. You know, if we were given a voice, maybe people wouldn't need to do this kind of thing, but we're not given a voice. And you need to go and check my video out I posted half an hour ago on the local council meeting, so definitely go check that out. I also noticed a few videos recently of actual police officers. Now, it was in the UK, but of actual police officers starting to speak up and say that they don't feel that they're actually doing police work anymore. You know, they are just too busy doing paperwork or trying to control their own people. Now, these are my words from the video I picked up. That it's not actually proper policing. You know, it's arresting people for hurdy words and then doing a load of paperwork for it. You know, so they're signed up to something for a purpose because they wanted to serve their communities, and now they don't feel like they're doing any of that. And so what happens, I believe what will happen to these organisations is that that'll cause a bit of a divide within these organisations, and they'll maybe start to rot from within. So it is a positive that some of these guys are starting to speak up. We also then, I thought it would be good to celebrate that we are getting some sort of movement on the hotels. Again, you know, I'm not saying it's great, you know, because these people are going to be moved on somewhere else, I'm guessing, and still within the UK and Ireland. But at least there's still some sort of movement. The idea is that a lot of these hotels were built with planning permission for a hotel, but now they are, I don't know what you call them, refugee sites, illegal immigrant sites, whatever. They weren't actually built for that. So the planning permission they were built on isn't correct anymore. So I think there's some way that the councils are working on to be able to see whether or not they can get these people moved out of the hotels. Now that does come with pros and cons. I mean, the hotel we were at is actually right beside a nursery. So I should really turn that on silent whenever I'm doing a video, shouldn't I? They're beside a nursery. Now, does this mean that these men are going to be moved out into the community? I'm not sure. I would love to know the answer on that. But like we say, you know, we're making some sort of progress, and we need to recognise that. So I know there was some politicians are standing up. Some here in Northern Ireland. I'm not going to praise them just yet, but again, what I want to celebrate is the wee win of some of them are starting to stand up. Okay, they're not perfect yet by any stretch of the imagination, but they are starting to open their mouths, and we got to take that as a win. At least it's a start, right? At least it's a start. So then I went on to talk about our TV presenters, our BBC TV presenters. And I joked about, and you might have seen my video about it anyway, but I joked about these TV presenters and radio presenters, you know, playing us on their radio shows and then telling lies about us. So, you know, they played my voice on the radio, and then they said, oh, these people are up there mouthing off and this and that and the rest of it, but yet they won't have an open discussion with me. Well, nobody actually asked me for an open discussion, you know, so don't use my voice and then say I'm not having an open discussion whenever you haven't actually asked, right? But the reason why I wanted to celebrate that part was because they are getting other guests on and they're posting it online, and the comments are against them. The comments are against them. So I think we just give these people enough time and they will destroy themselves. So I think we need to celebrate that, because they are just, they're doing the work for us, right? We don't need to put them down or anything like that. They're ruining themselves for themselves, right? Because the comments under these posts now, I notice on Facebook and other social media, is nobody's agreeing with these people anymore. Nobody's agreeing with the BBC reporters anymore, because we all know the truth. So again, I know these are not big wins at the minute, but we got to take these wee baby steps and we got to celebrate them. I joked then about these pesky vigilantes, which I was only messing about, because I had a look into, you know, these are just men and women out patrolling their streets. They just want safe streets. It's as simple as that. So I had a look into what the word vigilante actually meant. And the first part of it is that it is people wanting to take the law into their own hands, okay? People are wanting to take the law into their own hands. But the second part of what the word vigilante means is because people need to take action into their own hands because the government is failing, right? So whenever these are getting called vigilantes, the BBC and the publications around here want to talk about it as the first section of that. Oh, these vigilantes out patrolling the streets are taking the law into their own hands. But they're totally forgetting the reason why these people need to feel they need to do that. And it's because the government aren't doing their job. right? And it goes back to this over and over and over again. Carry on, where our governments want to deal with the secondary cause instead of dealing with the primary cause. These people wouldn't need to be out in the streets if the streets were safer, right? And this goes to everything, everything that's going on. They always want to put a plaster on things instead of actually dealing with the first primary cause. And if they started really dealing with the primary cause of things, it would really help everybody. Everybody, it would help. Not just the local people, it would help everybody. So anyway, that was just a few wee things that I thought that we would celebrate. And, I just finished with, this is just the beginning. We're nowhere near finished. I understand I'm celebrating wee wins here, but that does not mean that I think that we're finished completing our purpose here, because we're not. We're a long way from it. But I just wanted to lift everybody's spirits a little bit and show that there is things happening and we are moving. Thanks so much.